Hi, welcome back to Jay's Retro Toys and Games, and today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating consoles of the late 80s, the TurboGrafx-16. It was sleek, powerful, and packed with innovation, yet somehow it never reached the same legendary status as the Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo. But behind the underdog, or that underdog story, lies a tale of ambition, creativity, and some of the most unique hardware ever made. So grab a controller because we're rewinding to 1987 to uncover the full history of the TurboGrafx-16 today on Jay's Retro Toys and Games. Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to this edition of Jay's Retro Toys and Games. It is episode 83 on this November 27, 2025, and I hope you enjoyed your turkey because tomorrow is Black Friday, and I know for a fact that most of you who were still alive in the 80s used to think Black Friday was the day you had to get all of your console games because of them. Well, we're talking about an interesting console that was kind of like the underdog, the TurboGrafx-16. And our story begins in Japan in the mid-1980s. The video game market was booming again after the crash of 1983, and companies were racing to create the next big home console. NEC, a major electronics company known for its computers and semiconductors, teamed up with Hudson Soft, a game developer famous for hits like Bomberman and Adventure Island. Together, they set out to build a system that would outclass Nintendo's Famicom and Sega's Master System. The result was the PC Engine, released in Japan in 1987, and despite its small size, about the footprint of a CD case, it packed serious power. The PC Engine used an 8-bit CPU, but it paired it with a 16-bit graphics processor, allowing it to produce visuals that rivaled arcade machines of the time. It could display more colors, more sprites, and smoother scrolling than its competitors. The PC Engine's design was also revolutionary. Instead of bulky cartridges, it used thin credit card-sized game cards called HuCards, short for Hudson cards. These were easy to store, quick to load, and gave the console a futuristic feel. The system launched with titles like Keith Courage and Alpha Zones and R-Type, which showcased its graphical muscle. Japanese gamers loved it, and by 1988 the PC Engine was outselling the Famicom in several regions, and NEC quickly became a major player in the console market. With success in Japan, NEC sets its sights on the American market, but instead of simply importing the PC Engine, they decided to redesign it for Western states. The result was the TurboGrafx-16, released in North America in August of 1989. The new design was larger, bulkier, and more futuristic looking, a sharp contrast to the sleek, minimalist PC Engine. NEC believed American gamers wanted something that looked powerful, not cute. The name TurboGrafx-16 emphasized speed and 16-bit graphics, even though the CPU was technically still 8-bit. The marketing was bold and aggressive. NEC positioned the TurboGrafx-16 as the next generation of gaming, boasting arcade-quality visuals and lightning-fast gameplay. The launch lineup included Blazing Lasers, Alien Crush, and Keith Courage in Alpha Zones. But there was a problem: timing. See, Sega Genesis launched in the US just 2 weeks later with a true 16-bit processor and a massive marketing campaign. Sega's Genesis does what Nintendo don't ads captured the public's imagination, while NEC's message got lost in the noise. Another issue was distribution. NEC partnered with a smaller company, Tonka, to handle U.S. marketing and sales. Tonka was known for toy trucks, not video games, and they struggled to get the console into major retailers. As a result, many gamers never even saw a TurboGrafx-16 in stores. By 1990, the console wars were heating up. Sega Genesis was gaining traction with hits like Sonic the Hedgehog and Golden Axe, while Nintendo was preparing to launch the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The TurboGrafx-16 found itself squeezed between two giants, and despite its technical strengths, the TurboGrafx-16 struggled to attract third-party developers. Most major studios were already committed to Sega or Nintendo, leaving NEC with a smaller library of games. Still, the system had some gems. Bonk's Adventure, Splatterhouse, Ninja Spirit, and Military Madness became cult classics. NEC tried to differentiate itself with unique features. The TurboGrafx-16 could support up to 5 players with a multi-tap accessory, and its HuCards loaded games almost instantly. But without strong marketing and exclusive blockbuster titles, it couldn't compete with the Genesis's growing momentum or Nintendo's brand loyalty. By 1992, the TurboGrafx-16's presence in North America had faded, though it continued to thrive in Japan under the PC Engine name. Even though it struggled in the US, the TurboGrafx-16 was a pioneer in gaming technology. In 1988, NEC released the CD-ROM² add-on for the PC Engine, the first CD-based console system ever made, and it arrived in North America in 1990 as the TurboGrafx-CD. This was groundbreaking. CDs offered far more storage than HuCards, allowing for longer games, full-motion video, and CD-quality audio. And titles like Wise Book 1 and 2, Lords of Thunder, and Cosmic Fantasy showcased what was possible when developers embraced the new format. The CD-ROM² was expensive, around $400 at launch, but it paved the way for future consoles like the Sega CD and PlayStation. NEC even released the Super System Card, an upgrade that expanded memory and allowed for more advanced CD games. Then came the Turbo Express, a portable version of the TurboGrafx-16 that could play the same HuCards on the go. It featured a backlit color screen and stereo sound, features that wouldn't become standard in handheld gaming for another decade. Unfortunately, it cost nearly $300 and drained batteries quickly, limiting its success. Still, these innovations proved NEC and Hudson Soft were thinking far ahead of their time. They were experimenting with ideas that would shape the future of gaming: portable consoles, CD-based media, and multimedia storytelling. By the mid-90s, the TurboGrafx-16 had faded from the US market. NEC shifted focus to Japan, while the PC Engine continued to evolve with new models like the Core Graphics, SuperGrafx, and PC Engine Duo, which combined the console and CD unit into one sleek package. In Japan, the PC Engine became a cultural icon. It hosted hundreds of games, including beloved shooters, RPGs, and platformers. But in North America, it remained a niche system, remembered fondly by those who owned one, but largely overshadowed by Sega and Nintendo. Over time, though, collectors and retro gaming fans began to rediscover the TurboGrafx-16. Its compact design, colorful library, and unique hardware made it a favorite among enthusiasts. Games like Bonk's Revenge, Gate of Thunder, and Dracula X, Rondo of Blood are now considered classics. But in 2020, Konami released the TurboGrafx-16 Mini, a miniature version of the console preloaded with dozens of games from both the US and Japanese libraries. It introduced a new generation to the system's charm and reminded everyone just how innovative NEC and Hudson Soft really were. The TurboGrafx-16 may not have won the console wars, but it left a lasting mark on gaming history. It was the first to embrace CD technology, the first to offer a true portable console experience with console-quality games, and one of the first to push the boundaries of what home gaming could be. It showed that innovation doesn't always guarantee success, but it can inspire future generations. Many of the ideas NEC and Hudson Soft pioneered would later become industry standards. Today, the TurboGrafx-16 stands as a symbol of creativity and risk-taking in an era dominated by giants. It's a reminder that even the underdogs of gaming history can leave behind a powerful legacy. Thanks for joining me on this trip through gaming history. If the TurboGrafx-16 taught us anything, it's that innovation and passion can create something truly special, even if the world doesn't recognize it right away. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite TurboGrafx-16 memories in the comments below. Until the next time, keep those pixels bright and your nostalgia strong. I'm Jason Icanio. Thank you again for another great episode of Jay's Retro Toys and Games. We'll see you the next time for another look at some of the greatest consoles that ever graced us with their presence. Till then, have a great rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye for now.